see who has the heart.
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners.
This is your fight. Now go out there and take it.
Hey, you guys, don't throw me anything. My girlfriend put a curse on my glove.
I'll take the X off the glove. Give me the glove.
Dude, you got to cut the head off a live rooster.
Welcome to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens, Highway 72 West, just off I-65. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. One of your favorite teams is sure to be playing on the big screen, too. See you tomorrow at Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 Athens, just off I-65. Real estate real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate real easy. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for Quality Cooper Tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC.
Hi, this is Darryl Cheney, formerly of the Cincinnati Reds and Atlanta Braves, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Good Saturday morning, everyone, and welcome to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We are live here in Applebee's in Athens, Alabama, and we got our man Todd Tomlin. Todd the Bod has returned.
Made it back.
Man, welcome
Missed
back,
y'all.
brother. Missed you too. We got a super duper show lined up today. Tim, where's our what do you call that thing used to hang over there?
Our banner.
Our banner, yeah. We don't have a banner anymore. They took it down. They stole it from us.
Sure did.
I'm going to have to check into that.
Absolutely. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you can call or text us at area code 256-812-1848. That's 256-8121-TGT. Find our website online at tailgatetalk.net. You can also follow our Twitter and Instagram account at Tailgate Talk AL. Facebook and MeWe is Applebee's Tailgate Talk. subscribe to the Applebee's Tailgate Talk YouTube channel. The best video ever is out there. Amazon Echo. Say Alexa.
Play Tailgate Talk.
Google Home. Say, okay, Google.
Play Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Download that Tailgate Talk app for Android or iPhone, powered by Crown Service, Termite, and Pest Control. Look for Applebee's Tailgate Talk on iTunes, Amazon Music, Google, Spotify, and other popular podcast platforms. Our phone calls will be taken at the First National Bank hotline, making communities great. And our special guest segment will be brought to you by Yellowhammer Roofing. So, line up today. Tim, do you want to make this announcement about the Hall of Fame? Or, you want me to do it? Okay.
Go ahead.
The Limestone County Hall of Fame, Greg Young will be in this morning, and we will be making they will be making the announcement of the 10-member inductees this year. First time in 2 years. COVID put a quietus on everything. We have a New York Post sports writer. I don't know how he does this.
Pulled him in.
New York City. That's a throw out there to Jamie Cooper.
Yeah.
New York Post sports writer, Ian O'Connor. There's his name written down. He has got a book about Coach Krzyzewski, The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski. Coach K.
Just Coach K.
Coach K, good. And Todd,
I have a lot of other names for Coach K.
Todd's dressed in his Tar Heel.
None that are radio friendly.
You should see him, ladies and gentlemen. Come in here at Applebee's when they open at 11. Get a look at Todd DeBot. He is decked out in his North Carolina array.
That's right.
Hat,
Go
shirt,
Heels.
everything.
Coach Story texted me last night right after the game.
Yeah.
We're both.
Who'd y'all beat last night? Or who did North Carolina beat last night?
UCLA.
UCLA. Okay, That's right. Yeah, that is right. We also got a former, he's been on here once before, Randy Grimes, former Tampa Bay center with Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the day. And he was addicted to pain medication. He takes like 40 pain pills a day. And his book is Off Center, a memoir of addiction, recovery, and redemption in professional football. So looking forward to talking to Randy again. And our stalwarts, Clay Coleman, freak daddy himself, and the Swami of the SEC, Mr. A.P. Steadham. And with spring training has Bama's spring training started yet?
Yeah.
Have they? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll try to discuss some things with AP on that. Let's toss it over to producer extraordinaire, Tim.
All right. Scores and more brought to you by P4 Physical Therapy. Delivering world-class outpatient care with a purpose. Visit them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. Y'all can hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Baseball from last night. Well, yesterday, James Clemens had a couple of games at Toyota Field. They won the first one over Creekwood 13-5, but then met up with Collierville, also from Tennessee, and they were like the third-ranked team in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So that one didn't go so well. They lost 11-2 that game. Lindsay Lane, though, shut out Randolph 10-0. Let's see. Soccer, Limestone County tournament was going on yesterday. It concludes today. The Clements girls beat West Limestone 2-0. East Limestone got a girls' win over Tanner 9-1, and the boys also beat Ardmore 2-1. So the East Limestone boys will take on Tanner. The East Limestone girls will play Clements today in the championship games. And then softball tournament going up there at Elkmont.
Yeah, up there at what was it? Coach Legg called it. Hang on just a second. We've got to. This is the Charlie Brown's Restaurant, Mamie Duggar Invitational.
Hello.
So anyway,
we're that old. That's how old we are.
Elkmont beat Brewer 5-3. Huntsville defeated East Limestone 8-1, and Cornerstone, Tennessee, also beat the Lady Indians 14-1. And coming up next week, we'll be live at the VBC with the Huntsville Havoc, and we will also be talking with special guest Ted Sobel. He's an NFL, NHL studio host and reporter at Sports USA Media, and author of the book Touching Greatness. So he's got a book out there that just kind of has stories about all the famous sports figures and other entertainment figures. That
he's getting paid to do this stuff, Todd. We ain't.
Yeah,
I know, right? We do it for the love of the game.
There you go. And then upcoming, we'll be live at Cornhole for a Cure at Lucy's Barge.
That'll be fun. I hope it ain't cold.
Yeah. Live at Athens Car and Bikes on the Square. We'll be live at Toyota Field, live from the Limestone County Sports Hall of Fame ceremonies, and we'll talk about that later on. And, of course, later on in the summer, we'll be live from Mud Volleyball for a cure, too. So there you go. Sports and more scores and more brought to you by P4 Physical Therapy.
That is awesome. So, North Carolina win last night?
They did win last night, baby. And so this was interesting, and me being a big UNC fan, I don't know why I didn't just absolutely know it. If I knew it, I forgot it. But anyway, after the game was over, they were talking about it in the studio, and Duke and North Carolina's never met in the NCAA tournament, and so if they stay on the same path, they'll meet in the semifinals,
in the Final Four.
So that would be freaking awesome. Not that I would like to say that UNC would be the team I would pick to beat Coach K and put him out of his misery for his last season, but that's the team I would pick.
Yeah.
But you know what? Arkansas is not a bad choice either. Let the ACC do it.
Arkansas is the only SEC team still in. As we say, the team that beat us is winning. So Miami got a double-digit win last night over Iowa State.
I got tickled. I saw an interview with their coach before the game, and he's an older guy. He looks just like Jim Boeheim.
Yes,
if anybody knows.
Yes, he does.
I
had to Google it because I thought it was Boeheim.
It looks that much like him. But anyway, he was joking about the start time of the game because they played the second game, and of course they never start on time. He's like, "Listen, man, I'm in the bed way before that." but he said I'm gonna manage to stay awake and have some energy to bring to the game. So, but yeah, Miami looked good against Iowa State, and this has been the best tournament, man.
The Peacocks,
on National Peacock Day.
On National Peacock Day, man.
What are the chances? That is phenomenal. First 15 ranked team
still
to get
in
to
it.
the Elite Eight. So
still in
congratulations to them.
Well, if they win it, Kentucky fans will be going, well, that ain't so bad.
And I assume Ian O'Connor probably knows a little bit about the Peacocks. He's from that area. I mean, he's the New York Post writer.
That's true.
And they're right there in the I think financial district.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's schools right there in. Well, I believe I read that.
Well, awesome.
So he probably knows a little bit about the Peacocks.
We'll ask him about
it.
Make sure I put a note to that. Ask Ian about Peacocks. Got it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're live here at Applebee's in Athens, Alabama. Top of the hour, the restaurant will be open. We'll look for you to come in and have some lunch. It's time to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Go to your Amazon Echo and say play Tailgate Talk, or your Google Home device and say play Applebee's Tailgate Talk, and hear the show in crystal clear quality. We'll be back with more Tailgate Talk after this. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
If you're running out of space and a yard sale just isn't an option, Midpoint Storage and Buddy Box Storage gives you the choice. Midpoint Storage on Highway 72 East has traditional or climate-controlled units along with spaces for your boat or RV. Buddy Box offers convenient, secured, portable storage units delivered right to your home. They're both locally owned, too. Call 256-800-4249. Look for them on Facebook or online at midpoint.storage.com or buddyboxstorage.com. It's a win-win situation. Midpoint Storage and Buddy Box Storage. 256-800-4249.
Are your broadband needs growing like wildflowers? Ardmore Telephone Company's Fiber Fast Internet can help. Spruce up your speed with ATC today. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 to upgrade this spring. New Internet customers get the first month free. Broadband speeds are based on best availability in your area. Fiber Internet is not available in all areas.
Be listening for Limestone County area high school baseball action this season from Play Action Sports. Your coverage of ABS, Ardmore, Athens, Clements, East Limestone, Elkmont, James Clemens, Lindsay Lane, Tanner, and West Limestone online at pasnetwork.net on your Amazon Echo device or on your Play Action Sports app. Afterwards, you can download each game from the archives or stream it on demand. While you're there, check out our schedule of upcoming games. Limestone County area high school baseball from Play Action Sports.
Hi, this is David Cox, girls basketball coach at Athens Bible School, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
When you're born in this world, you're given a ticket to the freak show.
So you're a control freak?
It's just a freak show anyway.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen, live here on WKAC, the Big 1080. Tom McClung, old Tomcat here alongside Todd, the Bod Tomlin, producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert, and we've got the freak daddy himself on the line, Clay Coleman. Hey, buds. I bet you're.
Hey, good morning.
I bet you're warmer this morning than you were last Saturday at this time.
Yes.
So am I. The Havoc took one on the chin last night.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where it's like, really Roanoke has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
The Havoc, I guess, has to lose space and the position going in, putting us tied with Knoxville right now. So, yeah, it's just right now it's just going to see what the Havoc guys have and want, where they want to end up.
Yep.
Well, and right now, I mean, if the playoffs started today, I would assume that those two teams were made off the bat, right? I mean,
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So we see them again. So yeah, let's see. Well, I guess I get. Well, if they still have the way everything is the bottom part of the bracket is not, as far as I know, not totally finished yet, because Birmingham and Macon still are battling out who'll get that final ninth slot. So, if we were in second, we'd play Roanoke.
What about do you personally have a preference who you would like to see us play in that first round? Well, I mean, Birmingham, Macon or Roanoke. I mean, are they one?
We've kind of talked about this. I look at it that heck, you'd always want to play the team that you played better against.
Right.
But, when you talk to Coach DeTulio, I mean, he really doesn't. It's kind of like he really has a real nonchalant attitude about it, where he's just like, we got to play who we got to play.
That's true.
And, you'd love to do that. But, our first playoff game, I think, is going to be they've already thrown that down. I think it'll be, the 14th, which I can't remember what day. It's it's a weeknight. So it really won't matter with tons of fans. So, really no matter what we do, if we have a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night game, it's going to be the crowd we're going to have.
Yeah.
With it being a school night. So that won't be really a factor at play. But, like right now, I mean, it's up in the air. Like I said, you think you go into a Roanoke team, they're not even 500. You could beat 4-2. Hockey's just such a different sport.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And,
I don't know if you guys watched the college hockey that had the big controversial. Did you see that?
No. Fill us in.
Which was Bemidji State, which is one that the Chargers had always won. Then I can't remember. I think it's Minnesota State. Get me wrong on the name. I'm going to mess up on the one name. But anyway, they went and played the championship, got a game winner.
I did
Bemidji
see that. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, and they literally did the entire trophy presentation. Yep. They handed out the MVP. The crowds are gone, only to review the final goal, and the goal was no good.
Yeah, went under the net.
Yeah, it went under the bar on the side.
Yeah, the goal got moved.
So they had to come back in and replay with no fans. The outcome still became the same, but the one that changed, the kid that had the game-winning goal in the original one had won the MVP, and they had to give it to his buddy who got the game winner.
Yeah. Wow.
And wasn't that crazy? I've never seen anything like that in sports.
In that situation, you would think after everybody's gone, there'd be a statute of limitations. Well, it's been an hour.
If you're Bemidji and you had lost that way, and it wasn't like a judgment call. I mean, this was like literally the goal had lifted up, so it'd been the equivalent of shooting the goal in the back, bouncing off the wall and coming underneath the goal. So there was no way was it a goal, not even a question.
No, it wasn't. But it was. But what I didn't hear was or understand was who initiated Did they go to the refs and say, no, that wasn't a goal. I want you to look at the replay now, or did the referees decide on their own? Hey, we better take another look at that. I never understood how it got to the point of going back to the replay.
I think what I'd heard that the Bemidji people had, lost their minds because they could tell and they'd seen the video. And then with college hockey, they don't have it like, the NHL or the NFL where it goes to New York and someone's there watching real live on hand. They've got, other they can do the review there, but ones like that, and I think it was just such an odd, what do? You've had a goal you didn't know, but then this one, wasn't a judgment call. This was,
but they made the right call.
They made the right call.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
And that's the bottom line. So.
And
the
outcome didn't change. So
but boy, if it had changed, though, how heartbreaking.
Oh my God!
You just got through holding the trophy in your hands.
Yeah,
and literally slipped through your fingers.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
But
at least you got to hold it once, I guess, maybe.
Yeah,
champion for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that is awesome.
So,
how many games are left? Let's see, 2, 3?
2 home games.
2 home games.
And then we'll have they play 2 more away games. I guess it'll be 4 total, 5 games, because you got the game tonight against Roanoke, so we'll play them again. And then we play Friday and Saturday of next week, the final 2 home games, and then the final 2 games will be down in Birmingham. So
Okay. And I hate them on this Legends Night. I always try to make Legends Night, but there's a little thing going on called WrestleMania that night.
There you go, right. Well, they got, they've done this thing. The league did something really unique where all the teams had what was called a rebranding night. That they actually were able to come up with a new alternate name for the team and have a different jersey.
Oh, cool.
Kind of the best name of the entire league was the Fayetteville Marksmen went to they were called the Carolina Reapers, which I thought was like a great like
the reef,
reef out in the ocean.
No, the reaper like the hot pepper.
Oh,
it's the deadly pepper's called the Carolina Reaper.
Reaper. I thought you
said reefer as in. Reef out in there, Jimmy Buffett and the coral reefers.
They had like a hot pepper that was shaped, that had like the look of the Grim Reaper.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, it was pretty. Everybody was kind of like, it was actually for them. It was kind of bad because all their fans were like, "Oh, can we change our name?
Just change the name. Leave it that way."
Yeah, that's pretty cool. How about the logo?
Ours, I don't think is that good. I wasn't involved in any way, shape, form, or fashion, but. Because of, I guess, the technical stuff that's happened down in the Arsenal with, bomb techs and stuff, they're going to be called, Friday night will be called the Madison County Mystery Bombs.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of
mystery bombs.
That sounds like passing gas in church, if you ask
me. Right, mystery bomb. Yeah.
Who dropped the mystery bomb?
Who dropped that mystery bomb? Oh my gosh.
So that'll be on Friday night, and then the Legends game and a fan appreciation night on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And we always appreciate y'all doing that. The Autism Resource Foundation is a wonderful organization and deserving. And young man Easton is going to be playing. His dad, John, was a coach there for a while and a player as well for the Blast. And
cool.
So, it's that'll be cool to see Easton out on ice.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a lot more of the players. It's just a harder – that game, as much as the allure, it looks amazing with bringing back all the former former players. It's just the world we live in. The travel is just so expensive, and it's not a money maker for the team because it's going for a charity, so it's hard for us to supplement the travel and things like that. But there are a lot of different guys that are coming this time, so it should be good to see.
And the legends are becoming like legend. So it's harder for them to skate. So now that's why you have sons out there.
Yeah, we need to have a legends. Have a legends air hockey tournament.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Well, it's just like calling something classic instead of just old.
Yeah.
So,
I've told them what they need to try to do, and like I said, but it's just such a different thing. There's the hardcore fans, and there's some people that look at the 3 championships that the Havoc has had. It's not like an Alabama championship or something to where everybody remembers. Some of the hardcore fans, you probably say, okay, name 5 guys from the 2018 championship, and it'd be like, maybe hard to do. But I thought about, maybe you bring back the 18, the 10 versus an 18 or 19 and have the 2 championship generations play each other in a game.
That's not a bad idea at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And by now, there's enough of them to be able to do that, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like I said, you'd have to really, since you're doing that, you'd probably have to help with hotel and travel and like I said, when airfare, that kind of stuff may be difficult, but who knows, may happen.
Yep. Well, brother, thanks for joining us again this morning. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, are you completely a Peacock fan now?
Well, they started that stuff on Twitter, and I never got it. I'm not gonna, I don't say degrade the War Eagle, the bald eagle, or by replacing it with a peacock, but St. Peter's, that's their mascot, and Auburn Twitter does what they want. I'm not I'll read it, but I don't follow it too much. But yeah, I like St. Peter's. I'm kind of, Arkansas is my choice. Then right after that, Miami, because they're the one put us out.
Would you think, if you research through, would that be the worst non-intimidating mascot in college sports?
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
The peafowl.
The peafowl.
Not too many people
The peahen. For real.
But yeah, it's going to be. But this tournament, to me, the NCAA tournament's the best sport there is, or the best tournament there is by far. There's so much parity in college basketball.
Oh yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
You just don't know what's going to happen. Anybody can beat anybody, especially now with the transfer portal and all. So.
Well, down here, I was actually I'm in Cherokee, North Carolina, so we were there. I was in enemy territory watching North Carolina play last night, and again, I think that they're fired up to be able to go, but I don't know if I guess they're going to end up playing Duke, right? That's
a chance.
There's a chance. There's
a chance, yeah. So that would be. You imagine a game that would be where Coach K get the little revenge game after him spoiling his last home game. I mean,
no revenge.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks.
Clay. Thanks.
Clay.
Clay Coleman, ladies and gentlemen. Freak Daddy, our Huntsville Havoc hookup. It's time to take a break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
You can help Limestone County student athletes by donating to the Bama Zach Memorial Scholarship. Send it in care of Garth Garris, 13833 Pinnacle Drive, Athens, Alabama, 35613, or make it in person at First State Bank of the South at 1319 Highway 72 East in Athens. We'll be back with Tailgate Talk after this. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right.
First National Bank is a name everyone in the community will recognize. We see it in our schools, in our parks, and our homes. First National Bank is proud to help make our community great. I am First National Bank Student Advisory Board member Molly Chumbley from Athens Bible School, and I love to help represent First National Bank in my community. First National Bank, making communities great. Member FDIC.
Hey guys, this is Joanna Clem for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. I'd like to personally invite you to visit CEI Bookstore. While you're here, you'll find a wide selection of Bibles, gift items, trustworthy study materials, and more for you and your church. Our friendly staff will be happy to help you with your selections while you shop in the store. We even offer personalized Bible imprinting and gift wrapping. Not in the Athens area? Enjoy shopping with us online at truthbooks.com. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Check out the WKAC sports page. Go to WKAC1080.com and click on the WKAC sports icon. You can listen to the current sports stream as well as game archives, past coaches shows, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk on demand. If you're on your smartphone, you can stay automatically updated as new items are posted. The WKAC sports page. Another reason why your best source for Limestone County sports is WKAC1080.com and 1080 WKAC.
Hey, this is Mark Littell, former pitcher for the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Tom McClung here, old Tomcat, alongside Todd the Bod Tomlin, producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert. And we talked about him at the beginning of the show, returning back to join us here on the Tailgate Talk is former Tampa Bay center Randy Grimes. Randy, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Man, we enjoyed the conversation last time. We were at someplace we had to where were we? Elkmont Car Show, right. And we had, if I'm not mistaken, we had like 4 or 5 huge wasp nests around there. So we were kind of distracted a little bit. But we're glad you're back on the show with us.
Well, man, thanks for having me. How's it going up there?
It's going good. We're
decent weather.
Decent weather. It's back and forth. We went from 70 one day to 2 inches of snow on the ground the next morning. But so other than that, I mean, it's not. You're in St. Pete. That's right. That's what
I'm in St. Pete, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not.
We're not having St. Pete weather. No.
Well, St. Pete's where we all come to die. You know, if you can't tone it, tan it. Right?
There we go, brother.
Like that.
Love it.
My daughter lives down in Naples, so yeah, I get to go over there every now and then.
Yeah.
On that coast.
Good.
So I want to ask you something on a personal level here, since we're talking about weather and things like that. With all that you've been through, and you've lived in St. Pete, or at least in that area for quite a long time now, correct?
Right.
Okay. Do you feel like that weather makes you feel better, not just mentally but physically as well?
It's funny you bring that up, because there's something about water and palm trees for me.
Yeah.
You know, that just kind of eases everything, relaxes me, and it's just, that's kind of that Florida vibe. You know, I'm a Texas boy.
Yeah.
But that Florida vibe is just the water and those palm trees and things like that. You know, just kind of it calms me. You know?
The sunsets on the East Coast of Florida are amazing.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Well, yeah, actually, that would be on the West Coast.
The West Coast?
Yeah,
the West Coast.
You're talking about sunrises on the East Coast.
I'm getting my East and West mixed up. I know where St. Pete's on the West Coast. And yes,
I can't take you anywhere.
You can't take me anywhere, Randy. I go down there. It's not like I don't know the state. I just my compass is backwards, I guess. Now, have you written another book, or is it a memoir of addiction, recovery, and redemption in professional football? Is that the one you're still?
Yeah, that's my only book. There won't be another book. Let me tell you, this has been a long process, and But it really turned out great, and I'm so excited about it. And, the cool thing about it is that my whole family had a platform in it. They had a part in it, and it was a healing process for the Grimes family.
And great for you, dude. I mean, God's grace is something, and that definitely shined on you, being able to be where you are right now.
And to take what you went through and now share that and mentor other people that are going through the same thing, that's what's, just incredible about it. You didn't have to do that. I mean, you could have, just written a book and let people read it and be on their own, but instead you go out and do motivational type speaking and other things and counsel people, and it's just incredible, man, to follow your journey and what all you're doing.
They say you can't keep it unless you give it away, so
I like it.
That's what we try to do, and try to tear down that stigma that keeps people from raising their hands and asking for help.
Yeah. Well, and, being a big old, football player.
Big old
and
Texas
all that,
boy.
Yeah, that stigma, being a Texas boy, that stigma, I'm sure weighed heavy on you for years and years. You don't want to be that guy that reaches out, when you're in the locker room hurting, or, years after you're retired and, you've got things going on physically and mentally. And, at what point did you just go, look, enough's enough. I've got to do something?
Well, it took my wife telling me that she was going to have to leave because she couldn't stand me. She couldn't sit by and watch me kill myself every day. It took my daughter not letting me see my first grandchild because I wasn't fit to be around her new baby. It took the death of a teammate that I played with many years here in Tampa. It took some health scares like multiple seizures and stuff like that. It took all that to get me to raise my hand. And, that's for many years, I thought I was the only one out there suffering like that. And, because of the guilt and the shame, and all those things, that I never would raise my hand.
Yeah.
And I finally did in spring and summer of 2009.
And after you raised it, you're probably surprised about all the amount of other people that were in that same boat, not just football players, but all walks of life as well.
Oh, my gosh. When I started going out and telling my story, hands started going up all over the place. And especially guys that I played with and against, I was going out sharing my story with them, and they were coming out of the woodwork. And these are former NFL players who, had lost everything because of addiction or mental health issues. And, they thought they were also the only ones out there suffering like that. So, I mean, it's been a real journey, that's for sure. And, it's almost like God was preparing me all those years in the NFL to do the work that I do now.
Well, now you talk about your story, and for those folks who may be coming in late to the story here, all this kind of started with the painkillers you had to take while you were playing in order to play.
Well, and I always say I was that guy willing to do whatever I had to stay out on the field, and you didn't want to get a reputation of always being in the training room or always on the injury report or always missing practice. You didn't want to be that guy. So, I took painkillers every day to practice through the injuries and play through the injuries. And, I played in an era where, we practiced hard. We beat the heck out of each other all week long. And then hopefully there was enough left in the tank to play on Sunday. That was the coaching mentality back then. Now it's a lot different. They hardly ever put on the pads during the week, and guys are having fewer injuries and longer careers as a result of it. But, back in my era, that's how we did things. And, I was willing to, I justified it by wanting to be the best center that ever played the game, having a long career. I wanted to be a Pro Bowler. I wanted that next big contract. I wanted to feed my family. Those are ways that I justified what I was calling a necessary evil. What it really was a full-blown addiction.
Yeah, well, but at the time, you probably didn't even recognize that, right? You were just doing what you had to do to stay on the field, feed your family, and play the game, right? Or or while you were playing, did you know, like, hey, man, I am getting into something here I don't need to be getting into? Did you ever have that feeling?
Well, the last couple of years of my career, I was playing games in complete blackouts. I mean, I was taking so much medication before the game that, and here I was, the quarterback of the offensive line, you know, changing blocking schemes, getting guys going in the right directions, listening for audibles, making audibles, and doing all that in a blackout. So, yeah, I knew the last couple of years that it had progressed to something that was bigger than me, but I couldn't stop it at that point.
Wow.
Now, your website, randygrimesspeaks.com, I've got it pulled up, and be good for everybody. Get over there, order the book, and you know, if you're listening far,
you don't have to have an addiction. You don't have to be having issues, because either you know somebody that is, or you potentially might be that person.
Yes.
You know?
Everybody, no matter where I go and speak, and I ask people who has been affected by addiction in any way, every hand goes up.
Yeah, Todd and I were talking back to each other. No worries, Todd. That's good. Yes, sir. It from any member. We've had who is the lady that you know her? Cindy Feasel. Cindy Feasel. We've had her on there on here talking about that with her husband.
Right.
Grant.
Yeah, and I mean, and I'm certainly not asking you to name names by any stretch, but what do you think the percentage of players back in your day, because like you said, the game's changed so much since then, but were, I guess for lack of a better word, abusing pain medicine, whether it be just getting the shots in the knees or the pills or whatever? It was probably 50% or higher, I would think, right? Back then?
Yeah, at least 50%. You know, nobody puts more pressure on themselves to get back out there sooner than they should than a player does. But also, you know, front office people, general managers, they're putting pressure on the training staff, the medical staff to get guys back out there. Head coaches are putting pressure on the medical staff to get guys back out on the field. But, you know, it comes down to players. Players are the ones that put more pressure on themselves because, listen, you know what the NFL stands for, and that's not for long. So if you're not out there in your position, somebody else is going to be, and you don't want to let that happen.
Yeah, without a doubt.
What's some of your speaking services or speaking engagements that you have coming up?
I'll be in Dallas next Thursday night speaking. I've got an event down in Fort Lauderdale in a couple of weeks that I'll be speaking at. And, you know, those are always great. You know, it's great to get out and share your story because, like I said, you know, we're not going to arrest our way out of this pandemic that we're in. We're not going to legislate our way out of it, but we can educate. And the more opportunities I get to speak and educate people on addiction, that, you know, I always say when communities get well, families get well, and when families get well, addicts get well.
Yeah, that's great. And you bring up a good point about the pandemic with that, you know, the situation we've been in the last couple of plus years. Your services are probably needed more now than ever because people that were already struggling with those type things just got probably deeper and deeper into it.
And you get isolated even more.
Yeah, because you're isolated even more and you don't have those resources to be able to help pull you out of it. So have you seen an influx of calls or just emails? Just, you know, I'm sure you get that all the time, you know, just questions here or there about, hey, what can I do for my family member or my friend?
Well, all the time. And what I was referring to was the pandemic within the pandemic, and that's addiction.
Yeah, that's addiction.
You know, when you're losing 100,000 people a year, we're losing an entire generation of young kids right in front of our eyes, and we can't stop it because of all the fentanyl that's coming in and the overdoses
like with
that
are Army football players this last week. Did you see that?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was such a sad story.
So when I talk about the pandemic, I'm talking about the addiction pandemic within the pandemic.
Yeah.
And what's the one thing we tell everybody not to do with addiction, and that's to isolate. And that's the one thing everybody's saying to do with the other pandemic. So, you know, it's a no-win deal. And people have been cut off from their support groups and everything else, and trying to do everything online, and that's just so hard to do. There's not that personal touch, and it's been a very trying 3 years, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, Randy, we're glad to have you on. Now, before I go, I don't know if you can remember the quote you had, but I cannot remember it. But it was monumental to me when I read it. Something about God pulling you out of hell, or tell us that quote before we let you go.
God had plenty of opportunities to open the gates of heaven and let me in. What he chose to do was open the gates of hell and let me out.
Absolutely, brother.
That's great.
And praise him for that.
And that's for sure. Yeah. Hey, and you can go to offcenterthebook.com or Amazon, either one, on Amazon.com, and or find me at proathletesinrecovery.org or randygrimespeaks.com.
All right. Well, we'll encourage people to certainly do all of that.
I'm writing the website down. My son was a former college football player. He never had to take pain medication, but he dealt with concussions. So that may be a good birthday present or Christmas present for him.
Well, and I talk a lot about transitional trauma when we don't have that uniform to put on anymore. We don't have that playbook to look at. We struggle sometimes.
Absolutely.
Write it out.
Well, brother, thanks again, Randy. We appreciate your time, and God bless you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks for this opportunity.
Take care,
Safe travels.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Randy Grimes, former center for Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the day.
Special guy.
Great interview. Time to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Congratulations to Tanner's Emmanuel Gonzalez, our Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Emmanuel picks up a gift card from the Athens Applebee's and a Tailgate Talk t-shirt from Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and more. Go to tailgatetalk.net and enter your nominations for future polls. We'll be back with more Applebee's Tailgate Talk after this. Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Need custom screen printing or other promotional products? Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and more in Athens is, well, got you covered. Screen printing, promotional items, stickers, graphic design, vinyl for signs and garments, and other customized products. They also offer local pickup and delivery services, rush orders, volume discounts, and can customize any project to meet your needs. Gotcha Covered guarantees to get the job done and will work hard to make sure you're completely satisfied. Call today, 444-4500, or stop by and see them at 389 West Sandifer Road in Athens. Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and more. Applebee's Tailgate Talk wants to recognize our local athletes, and you can help. Go to tailgatetalk.net through throughout the school year to vote for the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. The winner will receive a gift card from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and a t-shirt from Gotcha Covered Screen Printing and more. Submit your own nominations for future polls, too. While you're there, check out the Tailgate Talk archives and see what you might have missed. That's the Applebee's Neighborhood Athlete of the Week. Cast your vote today from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Tailgate Talk.
Hey, this is West Limestone Boys basketball coach Justin Taylor, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Tom McClung, Old Tom Cat here alongside Todd the Bod, Tomlin, producer extraordinaire, Tim Lambert. Everybody knows that Applebee's Tailgate Talk is based on Limestone County sports, athletes, high school sports, youth sports. That is our primary focus. But today we're celebrating, or these guys will be making the announcements for the Limestone County Hall of Fame inductees. So as we continue to support the local sports, remember parents and grandparents. Some of these kids that are playing now, or some of these people that are being inducted in the Hall of Fame, played sports back then when they were kids.
Yep.
So always get involved. And one thing I've always said, and I'll continue to say, on your deathbed, you'll never regret spending too much time with your child. And that's the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Greg Young and Barry DeVine. Gentlemen,
thanks for having us.
It's been too long.
It has been.
Way too long.
Had a little 2-year hiatus, and glad to be back.
Like to have a long hiatus from that COVID. Get that mess over with.
Exactly.
Glad y'all are back. But you know what? In the scheme of things, y'all may needed a little break, because it's a lot of work what y'all do, having to sift through all the applicants and who deserves what and when. And
it is. It's a year-round thing we do, you know. And I, before I forget, I want to make sure to state one of our main goals, though, is to provide scholarship.
Yeah.
And we've upped that this year to 4 $4,000 scholarships.
Wow.
And
that's
those
great.
are to deserving seniors in the county, our Athens and Limestone County, and we take those, and we have a group that, has to sift through those applications for the scholarships. Those come through the school counselors and so forth. But that's a big part of what we do. We make that money through our golf tournament. Barry's DeVine here's with us, and Barry is in charge of that golf tournament, and we have that at Canebrake, and that's our big fundraiser. We really don't make any money on the banquet, but we make our money on that golf tournament, and that allows us to provide those scholarships. So we're real proud of that.
Yeah, should be. Should be. That's huge for these kids, and especially mom and dad.
Yeah, absolutely, for real. Now, if somebody wants to put a team in the golf tournament, how do
Barry?
They can either contact me or Jeff Hodges at First National Bank.
Okay.
A little bit about the details. It's going to be held June 9th at, as Greg said, at Canebrake, 1 o'clock. 4-man scramble. We'll be serving lunch prior to the tournament. It's going to be $600 per team. And, the name of the tournament is Martha Joe Leonard Memorial Golf Tournament.
Right.
And, people in this county and certainly in Athens know Martha Joe Leonard and how much work she put, her civic work that she did. And, she did a lot for the Limestone County Sports Hall of Fame, too. So we honor her, and it's like Greg said, it is our main fundraiser. And we've always had good turnouts, and certainly this year we're looking for another one.
And y'all will get it. It's just I think there's a lot of people in this area that love to support what y'all do and do support it. And plus, man, June 9th at Canebrake, come on, that's a no-give right there.
Right, that's right.
And, of course, the banquet's 2 nights later. On
the 11th, yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, those tickets will be available at the United Way here in Athens. We don't know the date of that. I think we give the an opportunity for all the inductees to buy their tickets first, and then they're opened up to the public. So we'll be letting you know what the date those will be available. That'll be a hard ticket to get this year. We got a great class.
Yes,
big class. Let me ask you this again. So we talked about earlier off air about the event center. Obviously the Veterans Museum has moved into the event center. So only half of the space is available. So how many are you thinking it's going to hold for – how many tables?
Well, I think it holds about 250 people.
Okay,
and, so it'll be packed this year. Okay. So
are y'all going to have to limit families to a certain number?
Yeah. We'll reserve a certain amount for each inductee, and of course they can buy as many as they want, but they'll get first shot at it, and then it'll be opened up to the public.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So shall we begin?
Yeah, we sure shall.
It,
great class this year. We're real excited about this. One of the best classes we've had. We'll open it up. I'll just go alphabetically. We got 10 inductees this year. First one is Coach Danny Anderson. You want to talk a little bit about him, Barry?
Yeah. Of course, Danny obviously is coaching now at Athens High School, but Danny was a very good basketball player at Elkmont High School. I happened to be living in Elkmont at that time, and Danny's senior year, there was a lot of excitement in the community about the basketball team, coached by Steve Britton. They won the county championship. Of course, Danny was instrumental in that. I think they went on to the Huntsville, advanced down there, just short of making it to the Final Four in Birmingham. But Danny was an excellent basketball player. He was the catalyst for that success that they had that year. Danny went on and played at Calhoun for a year. Was a good player there, and then went on to a junior college in Texas, and finally ended up at UNA and finished his career there. And Danny was a really good shooter, really good basketball player, and certainly deserving to be in this class.
Excellent.
Number 2 on our list going down, it is a guy that I know pretty well, Adolph Cosby. Adolph, it's a long time coming for Adolph, but I tell you what, I played with Adolph. He was a sophomore when I was a senior. Even his sophomore year, he scored 10 touchdowns on that state championship team. Had almost 900 yards, I think, as a sophomore. And that's in the same backfield with Freddie Smith and Steve Parker. So,
y'all had some incredible teams.
Adolph was a great player then. But then, of course, he went on in his junior and senior year. It became all-state player, super all-state, which is all-state in all classifications. He was all-South player. He was tremendous player, and Adolph's very, very deserving of being in that class. Went on to Auburn, signed at Auburn, and had some injury issues down there, but was on the team for 4 years. And I'm very proud of the fact that we got Adolph in this class.
I was at that game, the first state championship.
Andalusia
was who it was.
Yeah,
and they didn't bring a band. They brought a percussion section. That was it. And they banged on them cotton-picking drums all night. We were like 10 rows down from them. I looked at Daddy. I said, Daddy, can't they make him stop cotton-picking drums?
You know, that particular year, we didn't have a visitor side. Everybody sat on the one side. Right. And so it was full. It was absolutely packed that year, but I was a little preoccupied with the game.
A few other things going on. All right, sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, the third one on the list going down is Judge Mike Davis. Former probate judge. Coach Davis was at Ardmore. I think he was instrumental in starting the girls' basketball and girls' sports program at Ardmore. And if he wasn't so successful in basketball, Judge Davis would have been deserving of being in the Hall of Fame just for his community service. Everybody knows all the things that Judge Davis has done. I even remember talking about that 76 state championship, our 75 state championship game. He did the radio back then for that. Yeah, he interviewed me after the game.
Oh, cool.
After that, so he was involved in the radio, and then went on to coach at Ardmore. I don't know if you have some more to say about Judge Davis.
No, well, I think you hit the nail on the head, Greg. I think when you think about Mike Davis, first thing comes to your mind is probate judge, which we know he did in this county for nearly 30 years. But in the early 70s up to the early 80s, like Greg said, he was instrumental in starting women's athletics at Ardmore High School. And, he had some really good teams there. And folks.
Yeah, he dominated the county back then.
Yeah, and folks in Ardmore hadn't forgot that. The girls that played for him, just love him to death, and he did a great job there, and certainly deserving of this honor.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we'll hold us thought right here. We'll be back. We have Greg Young and Barry DeVine discussing the Hall of Fame inductees. It's time to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Limestone Drug, located on the square in downtown Athens, is your local Health Mart pharmacy. As your local Health Mart pharmacy, Limestone Drug is locally owned and has a personal commitment to the community. Limestone Drug honors prescription drug plans, including Medicare. They accept flex spending cards and fill prescriptions in minutes, not hours. Limestone Drug knows there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. So shop Limestone Drug at 200 West Market Street in Athens, your local Health Mart pharmacy. Limestone Drug, caring for you and about you.
Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
Are your broadband needs growing like wildflowers? Ardmore Telephone Company's fiber fast internet can help. Spruce up your speed with ATC today. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 to upgrade this spring. New internet customers get the first month free. Broadband speeds are based on best availability in your area. Fiber internet is not available in all areas.
Hey guys, this is Joanna for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. Many of you are searching for Bible study materials for your Bible classes. Our best-selling Bible curriculum, Discovering God's Way, is a reliable tool for teaching students of all ages through the Bible in its entirety. We're sure you'll love this curriculum, and if you'd like to see other options of Bible classes, we'll be happy to help you select from our topical studies. So stop struggling with the search and come by and let us help you select reliable and meaningful study materials for your class today. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
The Play Action Sports Report is back in podcast form. Look for it every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform. The Play Action Sports Report. Scores, interviews, highlights, and more from school, youth, and amateur sports in Athens and Limestone County. The Play Action Sports Report every Wednesday on your favorite podcast platform or online at pasnetwork.net.
This is Michael Dornay, former Big Out at the University of Alabama. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. Roll Tide.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. We're continuing our conversation with Greg Young and Barry DeVine, the Hall of Fame inductees. We got to Judge Mike Davis, so we're up to number 4, gentlemen.
All right, number 4 is Mary Fletcher from Athens High School. Mary played back in the late 70s, 78, I think, was her senior year. She was a 3-sport athlete. If you don't know about her, I knew Mary as a kid growing up. I knew her family and everything, but I had moved off, and I didn't realize what a great athlete she was. Really? She was a super athlete. She was a 2-sport athlete. In college, she wanted to play both volleyball and basketball in college, and Pat Summitt was recruiting her just to play basketball. And, I mean, she recruited her very hard to come to Tennessee and play basketball. But Mary wanted to play both sports.
I'll be.
And she kind of settled on going to West Georgia to play both sports. But she was a state champion in track and field, discus, shot put, 440 relay. I mean, wow. she did it all. She was an incredible athlete, and she went on to play 4 years at West Georgia College. She was great success there, a state title, 24-5 record. Won the state volleyball championship as well, voted most valuable player 3 consecutive years.
Wow.
And so Mary Fletcher was a great female athlete, and we're glad to have her in this year's class.
That's awesome.
Next guy on the list is a guy from Athens High School, played back in 97, but his name is Rashad Harris. I don't know if you know Rashad, but he was a great player at Athens High School back in those days, but he went on to University of Louisville. I think he actually got nominated by Zeke Parker, who played with him at Louisville, and he went on and played 3 years at the University of Louisville, led the team in tackles, 10th all-time in the University of Louisville in tackles, two-time team captain at linebacker, team defensive player of the year, second team all-conference, competed in 3 bowl games. He went on in the NFL, got drafted by the Bengals and the Jaguars, but he ended up with the Barcelona Dragons, the NFL Europe.
I remember that.
But Rashad has stayed in sports. He's been in, I think he's conditioning coach. The last we know, he was at, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I think he's the
at the college.
College, and he's still involved in athletics. But Rashad Harris, really, really good athlete from Athens High School. So glad to get Rashad in there this year.
Absolutely.
Next guy is a guy that Barry knows pretty well. You want to talk about Coach?
Yeah, Coach Hendricks, Bernard Hendricks.
Oh, yes.
I think most people in this area, they think about, his coaching success at Athens High, and he certainly was as a tennis coach and as a basketball coach, numerous area, region, state championships. I mean, he was really an excellent coach. But, with my affiliation with the college for so many years, Coach Hendricks preceded me there, but I knew of some folks that played with him or against him, and coaches, Coach Murrow, Coach Belcher, folks that that coached him and was around him. But Bernard was an excellent basketball player at Athens College. He led the nation in block shots one year.
Oh, wow.
He certainly was instrumental in success that Coach Belcher and them had during that time. Mm-hmm. And, that's one thing that we want to kind of highlight there is, even though he was an excellent high school coach, Bernard was a very, very good college basketball player and did a good job when he was at Athens State.
And he was Richard's dad.
And he's Richard's dad. Now he was Valerie's husband. Miss Hendricks.
That's what. Yeah, and I think
sixth grade.
I think I may be mistaken. Greg, you might know. I believe Bernard was originally from Gadsden.
That's right.
And he moved here to play basketball for Coach Belcher, and I think that's where he met Valerie, because Valerie was the cheerleader. At Athens College, and I think that's where they met.
I remember those teams from those days, Coach Belcher's teams, and boy, they were really, really good teams back in those days. We had, I think Robert Stewart was one of the guys from over there in Leeton. He was one of the Douglas's cousins, I think, and Bernard was part of that team, and man, they had some good teams.
Zach
really did.
I don't think Zach Campbell played for Coach Belcher or not. He was a little bit later. Later on. He played at Athens. Athens State. Excuse me.
Glad to get Coach Hendricks in there, Bernard Hendricks.
Yeah.
The next guy on the list is a guy, when you do this, one of the fun things is learning about people you didn't previously know about. And this next guy was one of those, a guy named Walter Hill from East Limestone.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you know him. I think he played at East Limestone back in 93, 94, in that area there. But
that whole family was very athletic.
Yes.
Were they? Were they?
Yeah, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Walter's sophomore year, the family moved from Starkville, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And Walter, I think, initially just played basketball and baseball and was really good at both of them. In fact, I think he was part of their Final Four team that went his junior year.
He was.
But I believe Coach Kavanagh got him to come out for football his senior year.
He did.
And Coach Cav was trying to transition from the old, 3 yards in cloud of dust, open up a little bit, and they saw, the coaches saw the ability that he had, and certainly he showcased that to earn a scholarship to Tennessee Tech, and was an outstanding player there. Earned OVC honors, set some school records, and certainly really a very good athlete.
Yeah,
he was a great young man, too.
He pretty much rewrote the record book up at Tennessee Tech, and his receptions. I think he still got the career record, caught a pass in 36 of 37 games, 34 in a row. He started 36 consecutive games. He just 6 all-time in OVC as far as receptions. Just very, very successful athlete at Tennessee Tech. So Walter Hill is very deserving of being in the Hall of Fame this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, going down the list, the next one is a fellow out of Clements High School, Johnny Johnson. John Johnson. Another name I didn't know a lot about, but Barry, you might want to talk a little bit about Johnny.
Yeah, John. Obviously, he played at Clements High School. I think he was an excellent football player, obviously, but he also was a good track guy, field guy, and he earned a scholarship to Ole Miss. Played 2 years there. Started. Was really a good player.
Freshman.
Yeah, and I see all the gray hairs here, so we probably all can kind of remember those ABC games, in the 70s. Okay, and if you was Ole Miss during that time, you probably saw John play, and was a good player there. Then he transferred and he played his last 2 years at Ole Miss and was outstanding. At UNA. I'm sorry, and was an outstanding player there as well.
That's great.
Yeah, he led the UNA Lions, 64 tackles, 5 behind the line of scrimmage, 2 fumble recoveries. He just a good all-around player. The defensive guys don't have a lot of stats to show, but right. He played a lot and a great player from Clements High School.
He wasn't there at Ole Miss in the Chucky Mullins era, was he?
No.
Chucky came out after that.
Mullins was there in late 80s?
Late 80s, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Here's a name that you guys may know, John Wayne King.
John Wayne King.
John Wayne King, like Coach Davis, we had a long time unwritten rule for the Limestone County Sports Hall of Fame board that board members couldn't be nominated. And I don't know why that was. It was a stupid rule. And we finally came to our senses and he said, hey, we got people that's deserving of this honor that are on our board. And Coach Judge Davis was one of those, and John Wayne King, of course, was one of those as well, but very deserving. John Wayne, he's got a state championship both in football and basketball. Now, that's pretty, all state.
It's impressive.
Very, very impressive. And, of course, then he was a great baseball player. You may talk a little bit about him too, Barry.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to know John Wayne personally. John was actually I worked with John at Athens State for 25-plus years. He's just an outstanding man. But John was really, really a good baseball player. In fact, after his senior year, the Atlanta Braves, they took him. They offered him a tryout at old Fulton County Stadium.
Wow.
So that kind of tells you the kind of talent he had.
Right.
And John was also a good coach at Clements, track area, and played baseball at at Calhoun, and then transferred to Athens State after that and played 2 years there. So he was really a really good athlete.
Yeah. My dad went to school with him, so known Mr. King quite a while. Yeah.
And a great guy, great community service guy too, as well, just like Judge Davis. And long overdue getting John Wayne King in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got. I think we got one more. One more guy you may have heard of. I don't know. Some people may not have it. I don't know where they've been, but Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers finally getting in there.
First year eligible.
How
did he even qualify?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
I don't know what more you can say about Phillip that you don't already know. I love the stat, though, that, of course, I was fortunate enough to see him play in college, I think as a freshman, and he just took North Carolina State by storm as a freshman. He went down there and just totally turned that program around, NC State. One of the stats I love is that he was a most valuable player in 5 bowl games.
5.
You think about that.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Well, he was obviously most valuable player in 4 of the bowl games that North Carolina State went to, but he was also most valuable player in the Senior Bowl.
Senior Bowl.
Yeah,
there
that's
we
right.
go.
Oh, okay.
That's right. So, and of course, then he went on into the NFL. I think how many years? 17 years in the NFL. He just incredible athlete. You know, no question. Phillip Rivers is a Limestone County Sports Hall of Fame.
It's
and I tell you, you will not find a more humbled superstar than Phillip Rivers.
He's pretty grounded. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now, here's the one question about Phillip that everybody wants to know. How did Auburn or Alabama miss out on this kid, him go to NC State, set the world on fire, go to pros and play like he did with the stats that he did?
Well, okay.
Is this a long-time secret about to make
No, it's out there. I mean, I believe that Auburn already had Jason Campbell.
Okay.
I believe that's the case. I'm not sure. Alabama thought they was going to get Brody Crowell the next year. From what this
Alabama recruited him as a defensive back.
I think Auburn or somebody recruited him as a tight end or something.
Yeah, Alabama wanted him as a safety.
No matter what, they both missed out.
Yes, they did.
And I think I read years ago a lot of it had to do with his throwing motion. They didn't like the way he came out from the side instead of over the top and this, that, and the other. And I always remember thinking I didn't remember him being that good as a safety. I don't know. Maybe he was like, because he was so good as a quarterback, maybe I just didn't think about him being on the defensive side of the ball at all. But he sure fooled a lot of folks.
He was part of some really good teams at Athens High School. They had
absolutely.
Some really good players.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Where's he coaching now? It's
down in Mobile.
South Alabama, Mobile area.
Yeah, it's St. Michael's is the team. I want to bring something up. Of course, we do Athens High football. I do the play-by-play, but for the Jamboree this year, Phillip's bringing his high school team up to play Athens in the preseason Jamboree game. I think we're actually going to cover that, WKC1080.com. I think we're going to have that game on. So we're really, really looking forward to that. And then, of course, the following week, we open up the regular season with East Limestone. We're coming back with East Limestone. So we're going to have a fun year with Athens High football this year.
Absolutely. That's just great.
But that's the 10-team, the 10-person class of the Sports Hall of Fame. Like I said, we'll have obviously it'll be a hard ticket to get this year with Phillip in and everything, but we're really, really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, guys,
congratulations.
Congratulations again. Getting it back going, and good luck on the golf tournament. And
hey, we'd love to have you guys out there at the golf tournament.
I'm thinking about it. I got a couple phone calls to make. We'll see what we can get.
Yep.
That's on a Thursday, though, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Like I said, thinking about it. I'm working on it. Working on trying to get a team. Okay. All right, guys, it's time to take a break. Great segment here with the Limestone County Hall of Fame, Greg Young, Barry DeVine. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Missed part of this week's show? Archives are available on our website. You can also hear us on your favorite podcast platform, including iTunes, Google, Amazon, and more. Just check out the podcast page at tailgatetalk.net for a list of available apps and links. We'll be back with more of Applebee's Tailgate Talk after this. Come see all your friends at Applebee's in Athens, Highway 72 West, just off I-65. 12 minutes guaranteed or it's free Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 items to choose from. Can't make it for lunch? Visit them for happy hour, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or late night. Half-price appetizers with beverage purchase, 6 appetizers to choose from. One of your favorite teams is sure to be playing on the big screen, too. See you tomorrow at Applebee's Neighborhood Grill, Highway 72 Athens, just off I-65. If you're running out of space and a yard sale just isn't an option, Midpoint Storage and Buddy Box Storage gives you the choice. Midpoint Storage on Highway 72 East has traditional or climate-controlled units along with spaces for your boat or RV. Buddy Box offers convenient, secured, portable storage units delivered right to your home. They're both locally owned, too. Call 256-800-4249. Look for them on Facebook or online at midpoint.storage.com or buddyboxstorage.com. It's a win-win situation. Midpoint Storage and Buddy Box Storage, 256-800-4249.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy. Keep up with local school, travel, youth, and amateur sports throughout the week with the Play Action Sports Update. Listen weekday mornings at 7:30 and weekday afternoons at 1:30 and 3:30 as we bring you the latest scores, news, and announcements from Limestone County and surrounding communities. That's the Play Action Sports Update 3 times a day, Monday through Friday on 1080 WKAC.
Hi, this is Athens girls basketball coach Tiffany Tucker, and you are listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
I'm all about the action. 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 I said I'm all about that action.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen, live here on WKAC, the Big 1080. Applebee's is open. The food's smelling good. Y'all come join us. We've got our main man, the Swami of the SEC, Mr. A.P. Steadham. A.P., welcome back, buddy.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. So glad to be on Applebee's Tailgate Talk, WKAC 1080 AM, Athens, Alabama.
Alabama. That's right. What's going on in AP's land this week?
Yeah, getting ready for the Final Four. We're going to New Orleans next week on Thursday. I was hoping to see an SEC team in there. We got one more last chance with Arkansas playing Duke. All the pressure is on Duke because of the coach. He's ending his career. And, of course, the biggest pressure in these games is the game leading into the Final Four for all the teams. That's the biggest pressure. So I think in the entire tournament, of all the teams left, Duke has the most pressure for those two reasons. To get to the Final Four and because your coach is ending his illustrious career.
Right. Well, there's a few teams playing good basketball that nobody had on their bracket. Something about a peacock. I don't know.
Right. That peacock's been strutting through the tournament with confidence. I'm telling you right now, they play basketball the hard way. I mean, they go to the basket. They're just going to force the issue. They play good defense. They challenge you, and they're fearless on the court. And that's what you like to see, especially from all their guards.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, guard play is phenomenal. It's just been a wonderful story. I've always said the NCAA tournament is the best sporting event there is out there of any sports, just because there's so much parity in college basketball, and you're certainly seeing it this year with the way the Elite Eight's lining up so far.
Right. When you see a 15 make the Final Eight for the first time in the history of the NCAA tournament, that's unbelievable. And in football, could you imagine the number, let's say, 14 getting beat in the tournament by the number 35th team or something?
No, not going to happen. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen now because 4 quarters of football, you can kind of rally yourself.
Exactly.
But basketball, they get on top of you, and then you start missing shots, and everything tightens up for the entire team. The coaches too.
When Tennessee Chattanooga was playing last week, they mentioned that I believe they had 6 players and 5 of their starters were transfer portal players, and that the conference overall, the Southern Conference, averaged 5 players per team that came to them through the transfer portal. So Yeah, with that portal being that open now, you're going to have all these guys who aren't just quite good enough to start at Duke or Carolina or Kentucky or wherever, and they go to Tennessee, Chattanooga, or to the Peacocks, St. Peter's, or some of these teams, whatever. And so you're just going to see where that parity is going to get even more and more over, I think, the next few years.
I think so too, and that portal moves both ways.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you find people that are, let's say, good in the Southern Conference say, hey, man, I think I could play in the SEC now. I've established myself as a very good college basketball player. So, yeah, it's going to move both ways. But it's once again, it's the roster management.
It is. But it's, what, AP, it's crazy, though, and I don't even remember which team it was. I certainly don't remember the player's name. Anyway, it was a kid the other day, and it could have been an NIT game, but I think this was an NCAA game. But anyway, the young man was on his sixth basketball team. Sixth.
Right, yeah.
You got to put a cap on that movement somehow, man. That's crazy.
I know. When you hear that story, I'm thinking, every coach took a chance on them. That's the nature of coaches, though. That's their mindset. I can be a difference. I could change that person. That's how strong they feel. They don't think like maybe me or you.
Undoubtedly not, because I would have been like, dude, you've already been on 4. I think there's a pattern here, so I'm just going to let you go.
Yeah, for one player, he must be pretty good for me to have him on the roster, because I do not want him to disrupt. I once heard, I think a manager once say, what's the key to being successful as a manager? Says, well, it's making sure the other 11 people don't talk to the 11 people that are starting so that they can get mad at me. Something to that effect, right? Yeah, keep them away from each other.
Oh, man. So what do you think Arkansas's chances are against Duke? I think they have an opportunity there. I don't know.
Yeah, all these teams now are feeling good about themselves, especially a team like Arkansas. They're playing that chip on their shoulder. You saw the coach at the end of the game. Nobody believed in us. And, of course, they all play that card, which is it's boring to me when they play that. Like, nobody. Of course they believe you can win. That's been proven in the history of the NCAA tournament. All these different teams can win. So I think that's kind of boorish when I hear that from my coach. And I've seen this before. They said, we put everything on the board. Well, I've been at a game, particularly, I was out in Phoenix one time where Alabama was being so-called disrespected by a team in the tournament, put that on the board, and Alabama lost by 30. So all those things don't matter because you still need the ability to win the game.
Yep.
I think it's nice for the coach to use those types of motivations, but if I'm in the NCAA tournament, I'm trying to play my very best. I don't need any bulletin board.
You shouldn't absolutely need any of that.
The team that bounced Auburn, Miami, they come back last night and beat Iowa State, double digits.
Right.
Well, you can't even look at that. Alabama beat Miami by 20.
Really?
Or 20,
I think it was 30.
I think you're right. 30. I think it was 30.
About 30, yeah.
So you can't even, and as an 18-year-old, you look at things like that. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
But you're like, man, Alabama's not even in the tournament, and they beat Miami by 30. We're going to beat them. You know what I mean? You just get that in your head, and then you look up, and it's like, it's 2 minutes left, and we're down 10. What are we going to do?
No. You know what I've found? I've found through the years, the teams that don't play to a standard, they'll lose to somebody with inferior talent.
Oh, yeah.
In other words, when you take a layup on basketball, if every time you're using the backboard, that's a standard. Yes. Well, some games, I'm not going to use the backboard. I'm not going to follow through on my shot. I'm going to be lazy at the free throw line. Or defensively, we'll let him shoot. I don't think he can make – that's in the game of basketball. But that's what I found. If you don't have a standard, you're playing to your standard. And that's how you win games by double digits consistently over inferior teams. In football, the same way. You block the same way, you tackle the same way, you call the same plays, you don't worry about the opponent.
Absolutely.
It's true.
Well, Bud, thanks again for joining us. We appreciate your time as always.
Okay, we'll talk to you from New Orleans next week.
Sounds great. Safe travels, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
See you, AP. Goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen, our Swami of the SEC, Mr. AP Steadham. He'll be live down there in New Orleans with Final Four. Well, it's time to take a quick break. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
AP Steadham, Heisman Trophy voter, Maxwell Award voter, and Biletnikoff Award voter can be heard every week on From the Press Box with AP on WHEP AM and FM in Foley, Alabama. He can also be found on Facebook and Twitter. We'll be back with more Applebee's Tailgate Talk after this. P4 Physical Therapy is a new outpatient provider offering community-based care with a unique partnership model that allows them to consistently deliver world-class outpatient care, emphasizing personalized hands-on treatment. Whether it's orthopedic, physical, geriatric, or manual therapy, sports or neuro rehab, telehealth, or most any type of muscle or joint pain, P4 Physical Therapy promises to treat you with integrity, compassion, faithfulness, and selflessness. Locations in Athens, Huntsville, and Winfield, Alabama, as well as Fayetteville and Knoxville, Tennessee. Look for them on Facebook or online at p4physicaltherapy.com. When things go wrong, State Farm is here to help life go right. And Agent Michael Howell is the one who can help get things back on track. See Michael for your auto, home, life, health, property, and business insurance, and be ready for those unexpected twists that life throws at you. Ask about banking and annuities, too. Call State Farm Agent Michael Howell at 232-5400. Visit him online at michaelhowell.net or go see him at 903 South Clinton Street in Athens. State Farm Agent Michael Howell. There when things go wrong, here to help life go right. Quality Vinyl is on your side. Quality Vinyl in Athens has been in business since 1987, offering great prices and service the whole time. What has changed is the technology of their products. From vinyl siding and shutters, sunrooms and screen rooms, to doors, windows, columns, and rails. Quality Vinyl, located on the corner of Highway 72 and Reed Road in Athens, just 6 miles west of I-65. Call 232-2665 or visit them online at qualityvinyl.net. Quality Vinyl is on your side.
This is First National Bank Student Advisory Board member Kamai Wardlaw from East Limestone High School, and I love First National Bank. They make it easy for me to balance school, work, and my social life. With convenient services like online banking, bill pay, and the mobile app, I can take care of my finances without having to worry. I can check my balance and pay my car payment all on my phone, and I was even able to apply for my checking account online. First National Bank, making communities great, member FDIC.
Be listening for Limestone County area high school baseball action this season from Play Action Sports. Your coverage of ABS, Ardmore, Athens, Clements, East Limestone, Elkmont, James Clemens, Lindsay Lane, Tanner, and West Limestone online at pasnetwork.net on your Amazon Echo device or on your Play Action Sports app. Afterwards, you can download each game from the archives or stream it on demand. While you're there, check out our schedule of upcoming games. Limestone County area high school baseball from Play Action Sports.
Hi there, this is Dan Pastorini, former NFL quarterback, and you're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Tom McClung here, old Tomcat, alongside Todd the Bod Tomlin, producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert. And we have the New York Post sports writer and also the author of The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski. Book about Coach Case, what we're going to call it, Ian. Ian O'Connor, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Tim, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
Well, I'm Tom. Tim's the other guy. But that's
I'm sorry,
Tom.
Tom.
Tim, Tom, Todd, Tim, Tom, Todd.
Bunch of
we're
T's.
good, yeah. Now, here comes Tim. Tim's got his headset on now.
Yeah, you call us anything you want. Just
as long as it ain't late for dinner, man.
That's right.
That's it.
Well, listen, you guys are doing me a favor, putting me on the air to talk about my book. I very much appreciate it, and fire away.
Todd is wearing, Ian, I can't tell you what he's wearing. He is totally
I dressed up for you, Ian.
North Carolina Tar Heels, top to bottom today. So,
well, hey, you know what? There are a fair amount of negatives in this book. I think this book actually has examined more of the flaws in Coach K's life and career than probably anything written before it. So that would work for a North Carolina fan.
Would it? Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, I was There's several things I want to ask you about. Before we get into your book and Coach K, I read an article that you did recently about Patrick Ewing in Georgetown, and the opportunity, I guess for lack of a better word, it was a really good article, by the way. I read a few of your things, and wow, Dave, you're good, really good.
Well, no, thanks for saying that.
I mean, it's the truth. You do an excellent job. I just thought you brought up some great points. I mean, John Thompson III, who was a legacy, obviously, had a better record than Coach Ewing, and he wasn't given that same, and I know last year they won the Big East and all that, and they looked like things were moving forward, and then this year you go 0 for 20 in the conference?
Oh, yeah. No, it was terrible.
I mean, unbelievable. And I watched a few of their games, and they were in those games. They were in them. They just never could pull them out. But who would ever thought Georgetown would have went 0 for 20 in the Big East? That's just unheard of.
Yeah, nobody ever went 0 for 20 in the Big East before. And it's hard to believe that Georgetown would be the program that would do that. But Ewing is also, when he was coming out of high school, and I'm old enough to remember this, he was by far the number one high school player in the country, and a lot of the powerhouse schools were after him. Georgetown at that point did not have any significant basketball tradition. They had just started to come on a little bit under John Thompson, but he picked that school. He gambled on that school where he could have gone anywhere, Kentucky, UCLA, North Carolina, you name it. So he gambled on them a long time ago, and I just thought, if you're going to give a guy one extra year, he's the right guy to get that gamble or to gamble on, and so that's why I wrote the column the way I wrote it.
Yeah, it was a great article, made a lot of great points, and so I'm gonna start. I don't know if I should get a subscription to the New York Post or what to start keeping up with you, but I definitely started following you on Twitter so I can at least see what you post through links. So,
no, thanks. I guess we could just start with. Well, we should get you a free copy of the book. I was going to say, well, maybe if you go on Amazon.com, you can buy Coach K for. What are they selling it for now? Maybe about $18. You could get a used copy for a lot cheaper than that. But we should get you a free copy. That's what we should do.
No, I don't mind buying it at all. And for those that want to follow you, you can follow Ian at Ian_O'Connor on Twitter. Go to Ian, -O'Connor.com to his webpage, or go to Amazon to buy the book. And I encourage those to do it. I learned something about Coach K last week. And he is not one of my favorite people, obviously, because, he's punished UNC over the years, and I am an Alabama fan to heart, but UNC's always been my go-to basketball team. I've loved them since I was probably 15 years old, and I'm 56 now, so a long time. But
you're old, man.
I'm old, yeah. But and I don't know if you cover this in the book or not, but the young man who passed away, I don't know, a few months ago, maybe a year ago, who had Down syndrome, who sat behind the bench for years there at the Duke games. Did you cover any of that story in your book or talk about that?
I didn't in my book. I'm aware of it, and I think it does show a humanity that Krzyzewski has. And I actually opened the book with a story about a former player of his at Army, West Point. And I opened the book with this story for that reason, to show his humanity, because you don't often see it. And it was a guy who 6 years ago died of cancer, unfortunately, and on his deathbed, he wanted to tell Coach K, who had been with him in his final weeks and months, trying to get him the best doctors, either at Duke or in New York City, to get treatment for him. And he was really trying to inspire him to fight it and fight it and fight it. And he did. And then he couldn't win the battle. So he's days away from dying, but he wanted Coach K to know, I didn't quit. I need my coach to know that before I die. So he could no longer speak. The cancer had taken away his speech. So his brother was standing next to his bedside on the phone with Coach K, relaying that message to him. And I just thought it was a powerful scene that, A, showed his humanity, as I mentioned earlier, and B, also what Coach K meant to his players long after they stopped playing for him. So hopefully that was an effective way to get into the book.
Yeah, well, it certainly sounds like it. And listen, I've always respected Coach K as a coach, obviously. But that just opened that story I heard about the Down syndrome young man, and then obviously what you just told me. Yeah, that shows the human side of him and the good-natured side of him. Because like you said, you don't hear those stories too often. Not that you're necessarily hearing a lot of bad stuff. You're not hearing that either, but you know what I mean. You're just not hearing the good, heartwarming stories. So that's good, and it's great that you put that in the book to open up that side of him. Yeah,
and by the way, as a North Carolina fan, or any North Carolina fan, what the Tar Heels did to Coach K and his team in that last game in Cameron Indoor Stadium had to feel pretty damn good to give him that kind of.
I'm not gonna lie.
And if you look at the way this thing is shaping up, it's possible. UNC I think will beat St. Peter's and go to the Final Four. I suspect Duke will beat Arkansas tonight, though. Arkansas is a really good team. I would not be surprised if they send Coach K home. But if you could see Duke and North Carolina in New Orleans.
I know, and as a UNC fan, I mean, like, it's one of those things. Like, first of all, man, I'm rooting for Arkansas not because it's Arkansas, but SEC, right? I mean, we're an SEC country here, and of course, me being anti-Duke, but the chance
you really feel,
but the chance to have UNC do it one more time, and but I don't. Well, let me ask you this too. All right, I'm going to change the subject real quick. So Kenny Anderson brought this up on TNT the other night about, and you brought this up in an article, matter of fact, and it was a great article once again about the players playing for themselves and not playing for Coach K.
Right.
That was that was spot on, Dave, because I think early on in the year they were doing that. He announced this was going to be his last year and all this, and so now you've got all this pressure as these 18, 20-year-old young men to want to send your coach out on a winning note. Win the ACC, win the NCAA, and and have to win all those games in between just to be able to get that opportunity. I think they are maybe playing for themselves now, each other, instead of looking at. I don't know. What do you think about that? Because that was a great point that you brought up.
Well, thanks. I agree with that they are now. I don't think they were doing that before. I think they felt so much pressure in that UNC game in Cameron that you could see the Tar Heels were playing with house money, and they were playing freely, and Duke was tight because it was Coach K's last game at home. Now, and Paolo Banchero said this yesterday, and I asked him the question, but he said that we're sort of beyond that now. We're playing this tournament to win the national championship, and Coach K's already won 5 of them. So it's not going to kill him if he doesn't win a 6. He'd obviously love to win a 6 in his final season. But this is their one chance as players to win. This is their only chance. Half of them are going pro after the season. So they really should do it for themselves. It's sort of like the cake is doing it for themselves. The icing is Coach K.
Yeah.
But don't forget what the cake is, and that is this group of players has one opportunity to win the national championship. And that's the way they have to approach it.
Yeah, great point. I think you covered in your article, Boeheim kind of said the same thing, that, Coach K's already got 5, 6 would just be kind of, like you said, icing on the cake. It's not going to affect his legacy one way or the other. 5 or 6, either way, 1,200 plus wins, whatever. None of that's going to be topped in our lifetime anyway.
Oh, I think that's a record that will never be broken. Yeah. But on the men's side anyway, the Stanford women's coach is Tara Vanderveer. I think she's within striking distance, so she could do it. I think the other record that won't ever be broken is John Wooden's 10 national titles.
Yeah.
I think that, by the way, if Coach K wins tonight, he will pass Wooden in Final Four appearances 13-12.
Oh, wow.
So that'd be an interesting thing. But his record, I think when he did it, that college basketball was a lot harder to dominate. I think there was a lot more parity in Krzyzewski's time than in John Wooden's time.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And also, remember, John Wooden, to win a national title, had to win 4 games. Now you have to win 6.
Yeah, big
difference. So that's a huge difference. And I'm not trying to diminish the 10 titles. It's hard to do that.
It's truth.
If you ask me who's the greatest, like I think Nick Saban is the greatest college football coach of all time. If you ask me who's the greatest college basketball coach of all time, I actually would give Krzyzewski a slight nod over John Wooden.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Does Coach K sit down with his players and have them tie their shoes
like Wooden did?
Like Wooden did?
I don't think so. I haven't heard that one.
Oh, you've never heard that story? Yeah.
So Wooden had them tie their shoes how?
Well, he would set his team down before the season started, and he'd say, "Okay, here's how you tie your shoes, because if you don't tie them right, you're going to get blisters." And, this
he had it down to tying the shoelaces, man.
He did.
Yeah.
Seth Davis wrote a great book on John Wooden. I'll have to go back and consult that to see if he had that in there.
It should be, if it's not.
Yeah, right.
Well, as far as your Coach K book, is it more of a? I'm going to assume it's not so much a biography, but just a kind of just stories about Coach K.
It's a biography. It's both. It's a lot of and listen. I think he wants to write his own book in retirement. So he didn't sit down with me for a lengthy interview, but he did tell me that he would not block any of his friends from talking to me, including lifelong friends that he grew up with in Chicago. So Belichick was my previous book. Belichick tried to block everybody from talking to me.
Wow.
Krzyzewski did not do that. So I always appreciate the fact that he could have made my life a lot more difficult in this process than he did. So I talked to his longtime childhood friends in Chicago, his closest associates and coaches in the game, friends, adversaries, you name it, about 275 people in all, to put together really the stories and the tale of his what I think is a great American life. It's flawed, and the flaws are covered. And I think some people not used to the flaws of Mike Krzyzewski being written about were maybe a little surprised. But I think like an honest account of somebody's life has to include the negatives. Yeah. So the negatives are in there as well.
Yeah. So were you able to sit down with Coach Knight?
No, and I think at this point, I'm not, based on his health, I'm not sure that he'd be able to do that anyway.
Yeah.
And so, their relationship is over.
I knew there wasn't one there, but I didn't know if Coach Knight would even had been interested if you'd contacted him and sharing something in the past,
I contacted family members of his, friends, and just got no response. Somebody close to him did respond to me and said that he would directly ask him, but I guess I just don't think he's in a position to grant an interview. And their relationship ended in Pinehurst in 2015 at a reunion of Knight's first Army team in 1965. So it was the 50th anniversary of that team. And they had a lot of ups and downs, more downs than ups in recent years. And finally, it ended when Krzyzewski approached his table and Knight completely ignored him. And Mike just said, he walked out of the room, he marched out of the room, and some of his old West Point teammates followed him out the door, and he told them, that's it, I'm done with this bleeping guy. I'm never going to try again. And he really, over the years, was the one trying to keep the relationship together. He was doing 95% of the work.
Yeah.
And he finally threw up his hands, and my reporting in the book shows that is the last time they ever spoke, 2015.
That's so sad. And I always loved Bobby Knight in Indiana basketball, and I know times have changed. And you brought up a good point in another article I read about how Coach K was able to move with the times, change, and adapt, and Coach Knight was not. And obviously that was part of his downfall. But to treat Coach K like that after all those years that Coach K gave him as not just a player but as an assistant, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I think he just couldn't handle the fact that his protege surpassed him, right?
I believe,
and broke his records and won more national championships. And I think Knight had a lot of problems with that, and ultimately that led to the end of the relationship.
And instead, he should have felt like he was part of that, right?
Absolutely.
He should have felt like he was part of it. And Coach K would give him credit for being part of it. So
sure, absolutely.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, Bobby Knight's a different dude, that's for sure.
You got that
right. So, where can everybody find your book there, Ian? You mentioned earlier, but go ahead.
Probably the easiest place is Amazon.com. It's Coach K, The Rise and Reign of Mike Krzyzewski, and it's my 5th book. It made the New York Times bestseller list in its first week out.
Sweet.
And yeah, so that was nice. And, I'm kind of hoping if Duke can get to the Final Four, that gives it another push. And I think Arkansas is very capable of beating them tonight. I think the way Duke has played the final minutes of these 2 games against Michigan State and Texas Tech would give a Duke fan optimism that they would find a way to win this game in the final minutes. But it's going to be close. Arkansas is just tough. They're physical. Musselman is a very, very good coach. And so this is going to be a game, I think, that goes down the wire.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point. Duke has grown up the last 2 or 3 games they've played. They really have.
They sure have.
They've learned to close out tight ones from the free throw line and holding on to the ball. So, I look for a close game, too. I think it'll be exciting. And, we're excited for you to be able to be out there and see it, man.
Yeah, it is a treat. I've been doing this for 36, 37 years, but I've never forgotten that it's a good job to have if you love sports, to basically follow it and go to games and write about the most interesting figures in it. It's still, even though I'm 57, I'm not 29 anymore. I haven't forgot that. I never will, because once you do forget that, you should stop writing, really, at the end of the day. So, I'm hoping that they get to New Orleans, and for you, I'll hope that North Carolina joins them. I do think North Carolina will beat St. Peter's. If UCLA won that game, I think St. Peter's would have beaten UCLA to go to the Final Four.
It's been a tougher matchup for them, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think UNC will get through, and then we could have a Titanic ultimate final.
Wow. So exciting, man. Pins and needles right there, buddy. Woo!
Could you imagine if the final game of Coach K's career was that game, and win or lose? I mean, that would be some scene in New Orleans, without question.
No, without a doubt. Yeah. Well, just be safe and enjoy it, man.
Hey, thanks so much, guys, for having me on. It was a pleasure, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Ian. Appreciate your time,
care, buddy.
Oh, thank you. You did me a favor. Thanks.
Goodbye. Wow, that was fun.
Yeah.
Todd just
that
was the best, because I didn't know the stuff to ask him. Great job, Todd. So it's time to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.
Look for Tailgate Talk on Facebook. Just search for Tailgate Talk and make the connection. Call or text us with your comments during the show at 256-812-1848. We'll be back with more Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC. Daly & Son Car Care is Ardmore's only one-stop auto repair and tire shop. Whether it's major mechanic or brake work or routine maintenance like an oil change or lube job, Daly & Son Car Care has been satisfying customers all over with their fast and friendly service. They're also your headquarters for quality Cooper tires. Stop by and see Wayne, Nikki, or Dale at 25600 Main Street in Ardmore, Tennessee, or call them at 931-427-4651. They're on Facebook, too. Daly & Son Car Care, open Monday through Friday, 7:30 till 5, and Saturday, 7:30 till noon.
Are your broadband needs growing like wildflowers? Ardmore Telephone Company's Fiber Fast Internet can help. Spruce up your speed with ATC today. Give us a call at 800-830-9946 to upgrade this spring. New Internet customers get the first month free. Broadband speeds are based on best availability in your area. Fiber internet is not available in all areas.
This is Bella LaFontaine with Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We take care of all the basics. We take care of cockroaches, ants, wasps. As far as rodents go, most places they'll trap or poison, and that's the end of it. What we do is we're actually going to find the entry points, and we're going to take care of that for you. We do a lot of work with a lot of realtors here in town to bring houses to the closing table. So one of the big things about us is that we're not a sales company. We are a service provider. So we're not looking to meet a sales quota. We're looking to get a house ready to go to closing and get our customers taken care of. This is Bella LaFontaine, Crown Service Termite and Pest Control. We are located at 3413 6th Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama. Phone number is 256-701-7095.
Real estate, real easy. That's the motto at Innovative Realty Solutions, and providing the highest quality real estate services is their mission. With sound real estate advice, the latest information, and a skilled analysis of the real estate market, Innovative Realty Solutions offers a better home buying and selling experience with a fair, ethical, and, yes, innovative process. Innovative Realty Solutions. Visit them on Facebook, online at innovativerealtysolutions.com, at 100 North Clinton Street in Athens, or call 230-5950. Innovative Realty Solutions. Real estate, real easy.
Hey guys, this is Joanna Clem for CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications. I'd like to personally invite you to visit CEI Bookstore. While you're here, you'll find a wide selection of Bibles, gift items, trustworthy study materials, and more for you and your church. Our friendly staff will be happy to help you with your selections while you shop in the store. We even offer personalized Bible imprinting and gift wrapping. Not in the Athens area? Enjoy shopping with us online at truthbooks.com. CEI Bookstore and Truth Publications, taking his hand, helping each other home.
Check out the WKAC sports page. Go to WKAC1080.com and click on the WKAC Sports icon. You can listen to the current sports stream as well as game archives, past coaches shows, and Applebee's Tailgate Talk on demand. If you're on your smartphone, you can stay automatically updated as new items are posted. The WKAC Sports page, another reason why your best source for Limestone County sports is WKAC1080.com and 1080 WKAC.
This is James Clemens girls basketball coach Monica Maxwell, and you are listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk.
Hey, welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Tom McClung, Old Tom Cat, alongside Todd the Bod Tomlin, producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert. Todd, you were going to mention something.
I was just going to mention something real quick. March 30th is coming up. Week Jersey Mike's or Jersey, Mike's.
It's Jersey Mike's.
I've seen commercials several times during the NCAA tournament. They are going to donate 100% of all proceeds, all sales, to the Special Olympics. So there's a location in Madison. There's 2 in Huntsville. I plan on going out of my way that day just to go to Jersey Mike's and get me a sub and try to donate. And those are the kind of companies you want to support during the year. I mean, they're willing to do something like that, and I'm sure they do other community work as well. And there's a lot of companies that we're fortunate enough to live around that do those things. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Special Olympics is dear to me,
Of course.
And I thought that was a phenomenal gesture on their part.
Great. So the firing of Will Wade at LSU is having repercussions across the Southeastern Conference.
A little bit.
Yuan Traore, 5-star power forward. Looks like Coach Pearl is going to reel him in, so we're going to lose one 5-star shooting power forward and replace him with another.
Rich get richer.
Sometimes. But and there's also, I think, a guard that was that decommitted from LSU that they're looking at as well. So,
well, good for y'all, I guess. Alabama certainly needs to stinking reel in some of those. I mean, which we had a great recruiting class. I can't complain at all. We've got some really good players coming in, but obviously this year didn't finish the way that any of us Bama fans would have hoped.
Didn't finish the way us Auburn fans would have hoped. We'd hoped to still be in the
I never would have thought Miami. But, that goes back to what I said earlier.
Yeah.
If you're an Auburn player, right, you might think, man, we drilled Bama twice. They ain't crap in Miami. They beat Miami 30. We're going to kill these punks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that any of that sleeped in their mind, but as an 18, 20-year-old, it can.
It can.
And it does. And like I said, you look up and it's 2 minutes left to go in the game, and you're like, we're in the game.
1 for 30 from 3, and 2. Jabari's 2 for 15 under the basket.
Yeah. I mean, and that was just one of those games where nothing was.
Went right.
You might have those games where 1 or 2 your better players may not perform, but the others pick it up.
Right.
But that was just one of those games that just nobody could get the ball in the hole. I mean. And it happens. Just happened at a terrible moment. That's
Miami was like a shark smelling blood in the water, too. They did not.
Well, and I learned a little bit about them last night. They play what they call a swarm defense. And it's crazy. They were showing it in practice. And they swear, it's like just a bunch of bees, man, just running toward the ball, getting that, and they force so much trap and pressure. And, of course, Auburn being guard heavy, they were able to affect, get a lot of turnovers and push the offense out towards
push it out
half court, and so it doesn't matter what you got inside if the ball's sitting 25, 30 feet away from the basket.
That's right.
So I thought about my Auburn friends. I was
you were happy.
Now. No. Oh, I mean,
I'm just playing with you.
And it's SEC, and rooting for Arkansas. I mean, I would root for Arkansas. Duke's just added benefit to root against them, but I mean, I would root for Arkansas against whoever.
And who would have thought the Alabama women would be playing longer than
exactly.
the men?
That's crazy. But congratulations to them for having such a good long run. That's for sure.
And it's getting close.
I also read something real quick too about just basketball. Next year, and I don't know, forever, NIT's not even going to be at Madison Square Garden.
Really?
They're looking at other locations, and that's the weirdest thing, man. Oh. NIT's, as far as I know, has always been in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, since it started back in the 50s, 40s. I don't know when it started.
Well, before we go out, ladies and gentlemen, remember the Limestone County Hall of Fame golf tournament on June the 9th. Contact Barry DeVine or Greg Young for tickets, or not tickets, but how to sponsor a hole or, enter a team. Enter a team.
Be getting your teams together, get out there and support a great cause, and they're going to provide lunch and great course.
Yeah,
so
great
it'll be a fun day, man.
It ought to be. The rising rain, Mike Krzyzewski from Ian O'Connor, our guy that we just interviewed, and Randy Grimes, offcenterthebook.com. Also find him at randygrimesspeaks.com. Some of our special guests that were brought to us today on the Tailgate Talk special guest segment brought to you by Yellowhammer Roofing and the First National Bank Hotline, making communities great.
And congratulations to our Athlete of the Week, Tanner's Emmanuel Gonzalez.
All right. Congratulations.
And quickly before we go, I want to congratulate Bryant Story. He has signed a bowling scholarship with the University of Mobile.
Way to go, dude. That's South Alabama. That's University of Mobile, all right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a Baptist college.
Gotcha. Okay. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Todd the Bod Tomlin and producer extraordinaire Tim Lambert, my name's Tom McClung, old Tomcat. We ain't got to go home, but we got to get ourselves up out of here. We will see you next week.
You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, live from Applebee's Neighborhood Grill on Highway 72 East in Athens, just off I-65. You can hear the archive of this and other shows online at tailgatetalk.net. Applebee's Tailgate Talk is a production of Play Action Sports on 1080 WKAC.